Hey anglers, it's Al, the Hitman Sims, with the weekly fishing recon report, brought to you by blackopsfishing.com. Real undercover fishing. Our first report for the week of July 10, 2012 comes to us from Andrew at Fishing Factory 3. Blue crabs and snapper blues are in. Andrew's received reports from a few different anglers who are catching snapper blues at Saybrook Point this week, so he's assuming the DEP dock and the causeway should yield the same results. They're on the small side, but expect them to grow quick. Blue crabs are still abundant in the lower coves off the Connecticut River and at the DEP pier. So far it's been a great start to the blue crab season. Porgy fishing, or scup, whatever you may call them, the fishing's been pretty good the last few weeks. From shore, your best bet is the rocky shorelines at Watch Hill, Harkness, and Hammonasset. Most of the major reefs have a healthy population, but the best reports continue to come from hatches, where they are plentiful and big. Bartletts, Goshen, hens and chickens are all a good bet as well. Don't forget, you're permitted to keep 20 fish this year at 10.5 inches. Bass and blues. July is here, and it's typically a tough month of the year to catch stripers during the broad daylight. Drifting eels after dark on the major reefs is your best bet this time of year. There's a load of bunker in the mouth of the river, so making bait hasn't been a problem yet this year. The sand shoal gives up a few nice fish every now and then, but it's not what it was a few weeks ago. Expect to work for your fish. Bartletts and Black Point have been decent during low light conditions. Both reefs have the blues, so fishing during these conditions is prime. The race was hot, especially for the guys fishing live bunker at Valiant first thing in the morning, but that bite seemed to have slowed down in the past few days. But Valiant with live bunker is always worth a shot. From shore, I haven't heard of too many reports of bass, says Andrew. I know of a few fish hitting the dock every now and then at both Saybrook Point and the DEP dock, mostly on chunk bunker or mackerel. Harkness State Park also gives up some nice fish on the chunk. Fishing after the lights go out, better your odds for sure. I haven't heard of much from Rhode Island surf in the last few weeks either. The dog days of summer are here, so we're going to have to switch up our tactics a bit to get it done. Fluke. Locally, outside the mouth of the Connecticut River, the reports of a good fluke bite are scarce. There's no shortage of small fish on the shoal and to the east, Sound View, but reports of keeper-sized fish have been on the slow side. The most consistent report of keepers in the area is coming right from the mouth of the river itself. When the river isn't a madhouse with boats, the fishing can be pretty decent. Even from shore at Saybrook Point, anglers have been scoring some keeper-sized fish on mackerel chunks. To the east, the bite is just okay. In Nyack Bay and the backside of Fisher's Island, it's been hit or miss. It seems like the bulk of the squid has moved out of the area. The Rhode Island beaches are fishing decent, but the hot bite has been at the block. Dave Russo continues to stay on top of the leaderboard with a doormat weighing in at 9.38 pounds. Caught just a few weeks ago. The next report comes to us from Connecticut Outfitters in Wethersfield by Gary Brummett on the Connecticut River north of Hartford. Water flows are fairly low and the water is warming up to normal summer temps. Fish seem to be lockjawed except for the deeper spots. Catfishing at night seems to be doing well, and smallie fishing for the wet waders in Enfield is doing well with rewards of 2 to 3 pounders on light tackle. Pumpkin Kitex, swing impacts on swim head jigs is doing the trick. The greater Hartford area, catfishing in and around the coves, Wethersfield, Keeney, and White Oaks in the dark is productive. also from the deep hole just north of the Route 3 bridge. Remember, the channel into Whiteout's Cove is 6 inches of water if you're lucky, but you can drag your small boat in. Ben B lost a huge pike after dark on a black jitterbug this week. He estimates the fish was close to 40 inches. Crappie fishing doing alright with small Arkansas shiners and marabou crappie jigs. Carp fishing is slowing up due to the heat. Salmon in Farmington Rivers. Ovation Pool has been giving up some browns in the 22 to 24 inch range this week. The spin fishermen struggle to make effective presentations to the depths. Aaron using successful nymphing techniques to entice the bows to bite in the farming. The mouth and lower. There still remains a ton of bunker for the taking. Cast nets, snag hooks, or gill nets if you have the license. Fresh bunker is an excellent get your own bait for stripers, blues, and blue crab traps. The blue crabbing has been excellent from the Causeway and the DEEP dock in Lyme. Also hearing continued reports of hickory shad. Big freshwater bass reports from Candlewood. The night bite can be crazy in the coves when alewives stack up. Crest's brother took a 15-pound carp in the Glenlocken Pond in Glastonbury on a trout rod with 4-pound test baited with a crawler. The marine report. Sand eels are starting to show, and we've heard reports of cinder worms too. The snapper blues are in 4 to 5 inches as of the last report. Fluke fisherman Mark P. reported that his technique of baiting fluke rigs with gulp alive 4-inch mullets is out fishing the rest of his crew 4 to 1, even against live mummies and huge trolling squids. Sully landed a big fluke this week off block that was 30 inches and bottomed out a 10-pound scale. Porgy fishing is still excellent with lots and lots of big fish. No one really seems to be black fishing from our customer reports. Stripers. Stripers seem to be having on and off lockjaw. Lots of fish to be seen on radar, but not a lot of takers. Diamond jigging remains a successful tactic for stripers when you can get the jig down past the evil hordes of bluefish. Also some successes at the outflow of millstone with tube and worm trolling around. Live lining bunkers or scup is challenging due to all the bluefish. The next report is from our very own Black Ops Fishing Mafia. Big news is Fish On and Kyle have been slaying large and smallmouth bass in local ponds, lakes, and the Connecticut River. The fish are hitting well on chatterbaits, jigs, jitterbugs, frogs, and worms. They have caught hundreds of fish in the last week, but no real lunkers. Cat Paw Kavanaugh is and has been having great results at his secret spot for trout and river bass. Also on the Shetucket River, where he has been doing quite well, but wants me to warn folks of the unpredictable surge of water when they release from the dam. He said it is very quick and dangerous, and he and his dog Lucy were actually stuck on the wrong side of the river in minutes. This has been Al the Hitman Sims with the weekly Black Ops Fishing Report. Until next week, keep off my bass.